So today I want to talk about the employee mindset. I'm going to explain to you now what that is, all right? So it's when something in your life is unfair or it's not to your liking and you just accept it. You have come to think of other people as the authority. You know, this goes all the way back to our childhood, to the flawed school system that the majority of us were raised up under. And I've been really against this for a long time here on YouTube, encouraging people to think for themselves, to take action, to be the one who speaks up and steps out of line. But the truth is that we're raised to accept answers like, I'm the teacher, I'm the parent, because I said so.
Do you think I can go to the bathroom? You want to stand up and come to my desk and ask me? All right, now what do you need? I was trying to see if I go to the bathroom. No, go sit down.
Many people, into adulthood, they still kind of have this defer to authority mentality, and it sticks. So when you're an adult, you get a job, right? Just over broke. And the boss tells you, this is what you got to do. This is how it is. And if you don't like it, good luck, right? Good luck paying your mortgage. Good luck buying your $8 matchas, whatever it is. So this is sounding familiar to you and you want to break free. You're in the right place. You've been in the right place for a long time. Lots of you. I know you've been watching my channel for 10 years. And there are some of you who have taken action. One of them is Sophia. She looked at people who said, I have a back problem. And she was also, part of her story is she was a newcomer to Canada. She was making minimum wage. She had a rotten boss who was lording it over her, knowing she had a visa that was going to expire soon. This is her story. And she said, I'm going to become self-employed. And my videos inspired her. That was part of her journey. But now she makes these videos. She's full-time on YouTube. We have Brenda from Horse Sense Healing in Montana. I went to go see her when I was in the process of getting a divorce. And then again, I did some online sessions with her when I was trying to figure out my life in Mexico, and it helped me so much. But for Brenda, it was the same thing. She was like, I'm working in the social work system. It's, crushing me down. It's paying a little bit of money. It's putting a lot of stress. The system prevents me from really making the kind of difference that I want. She went on her own and she is just thriving like crazy. People really want to get out. They want to connect. They want to learn more about themselves. And we've also got Cassandra. Cassandra bought my ebook back in the day. A lot of you, that was kind of like, the kickoff in your mind. It's a way you can kind of opt in to show that you're ready to learn. You want to do this. And look at her channel now, thriving. So a lot of us have been basically taught in life, don't look for the problems, don't focus on the negative. But guess what? That's what entrepreneurs do. We focus on the negative, on the problems. Think about the danging problems in your life. You know why? Because then you can start to come up with solutions instead of just accepting that's the way it is because someone else said so. So look at the things in your life right now. What are you just tolerating that is slowly chipping away at your soul? For me, that was working for a boss who was usually much lower in IQ and life experience than I was. So I started YouTube 12 years ago and it changed my life. And then I decided, you know what, I can work online. I hate living in the city. Let me move to a cabin in the woods. That was it right there. And at night, the coyotes would circle and howl outside. It was scary and romantic both at the same time. Eventually, I realized, I have to pay a landlord when I live in the country. Let me move into a van. Traveled across Canada, traveled across the US, realized, I prefer to have a home base. And I decided to get married to a farm in Montana. I became a farmer's wife. That was always a dream of mine. But I came to learn that it's the person you marry, not the life. You got to make the right choice there as well. So I knew I had to leave, but I didn't want to go back to the cold in Canada, so I moved to Mexico. Took up martial arts. Look at this place. Have you ever imagined a place like this in your life? So I made a lot of different decisions trying to solve the problems in my life, the things that were unacceptable to me. I learned a lot about myself and about the world in the process. Here's the thing with the I am the boss mindset, right? We kind of need it. We kind of need the I am the boss, this is how you do it mindset to a certain degree in certain situations, because that's what keeps order. That's what keeps the ship running, right? If everybody could go into Costco and just do what they felt like and follow whatever rules called to them, well, we'd have some problems, right? But the thing is, the Costco was made to solve a problem and serve people in order that the owners and the CEOs' grandkids could own multiple yachts or whatever else, right? So we need to be putting that work and that order and that dedication and that obedience into ourselves and into doing what we are called here to serve. So I actually created, of course, a tool, because I find that when you actually have something and you can write it out, this is the first time you're seeing what you've had in your thoughts and in your mind for so long in real life for a lot of people. So writing something out makes a big difference. I have got your Secure and Sovereign Workbook, absolutely free. You can download it and you can start filling it out today to start changing your employee mindset. The only thing I ask is that you actually do it. Okay, I know a lot of you click. If you're gonna grab this, make sure you download it within 24 hours and start working on it immediately, because there's a part of your brain, the part of your brain that grew up in the school system that was meant to condition factory workers and 9-to-5 wage slaves, that's going to start kicking itself up, going to start causing you a problem.
It's not like he's not overeating. I know that. Look at...
This is the Jester archetype that exists within all creative people, within all rebels. It's the thing that allows us to look and go, look at them. I don't want to do that. Or allows us to question things and to say, no, I don't want to do it. You know, oh, I have a creative idea. But the problem is that this Jester archetype will undermine, okay? It's going to undermine the things that the authority puts in place. And the authority you need to call on to start your own business is your own king archetype. The part of you that sits on the throne and oversees the whole kingdom and sets things in order. So I'd like to invite you to call upon your king archetype every time that Jester starts kicking up, going, I don't really need to do it. You know, the Jester is the Jester is only the king of procrastination, okay? Don't let that Jester archetype get in and ruin you. And if you would like to go deeper into these archetypes, to really explore your ideas for your business, and to go through this whole workbook with a group of people and with myself one-on-one, I've got an event tied in with this that you can also join in. All of this is linked below. It's coming up very soon, and we'd love to see you there. I want to tell you a story that happened to me recently. Some of you know I lived in Mexico for the past 4 years. I just came back to Canada. I'm living in Edmonton now. But when I was in the airport in Mexico City waiting to come to Canada, there was this situation where I was like sitting in a row of chairs in the, you know, the airport lounge. And there was this man in fatigues, like army fatigues. He had some badges and things like that. And I saw him approach the person at the end of the line of chairs I was sitting on and kind of talk to them. The person took out their passport and like showed him, and they took out some ID and gave it to him, and he looked at it and he gave it back to them. And so this authority, this man, is slowly making his way down the line of chairs towards me. Now, one thing you got to know about me is that Jester archetype is strong within me. I look at, you know, these authority figures and everything else. You know, when I was a kid growing up, my mom was like, I am the boss. Well, I saw my mother making a lot of ridiculous decisions, right? Like inviting drunk men into our house to be her boyfriend, to eat the children's lunches in the fridge for the next day. I saw that these men were driving cars that were owned by their other girlfriends who didn't know about my mom. And so, to be honest, I learned the hard way from a young age that adults who try to put authority over you sometimes don't know what the heck they're doing. And this has saved me in my life. This has allowed me to live a free-ass life. This has allowed me to make 6 figures in passive income online at one point. It also really helped develop my courage and my personality and my respect for myself. But anyway, so this guy, I took one look at what this guy was doing and I was like, nope, That was what I thought in my mind. Nope, I don't want to deal with this, whatever this is. I don't know who that man is. I'm not giving him anything. And it was quite funny. I just made that split-second decision. And I was like, well, if he gets to me, I'm just going to say, no, no thanks. And that'll be it. So he comes down the line. He gets to everyone. He gets to the person beside me. They hand him passport, whatever. He looks at me, turns around and leaves. It turns out that the reason why he did that was because they were checking the passports of people from Mexico because like something was going on with the terminal or something. I don't know. I saw an announcement about it later, but he looked at me and he was like, oh, she's not from here. Ultimately, the ability to look at negatives is something that you don't always have to live with, that you can walk away from if you're not learning and growing by staying in that situation. And remember, you don't have to fight every system. You don't have to obey every authority. You just have to know who you are inside of it. The employee mindset will tell you, wait to be told. What is acceptable? And the sovereign mindset says, I decide what happens in my life. And that's it, right? That's the shift. So everything in your life will change the moment you stop asking for permission, all right? So I want you to look around and ask yourself in your own life, what am I still tolerating just because someone else said so? Where am I waiting for permission? Because that's where your freedom begins. But you have to be the one, just like myself and just like the other women I showed you earlier, and just like many people who said no to the 9-to-5 and the employee mindset that you have so many examples of online. You have to take that first scary step. And if you'd like a little bit of help, go and grab that workbook. And if you want someone to join you, hold your hand, help you out a bit more, I have a workshop coming up. That link is below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. If you want more videos on business, check out these ones here.